My journey began when my dad was diagnosed with cirrhosis and later with overt hepatic encephalopathy, or OHE. When he first began getting forgetful and confused, we had far more questions than answers, and we could not have conceived that what we were experiencing was related to his liver disease. At the time, resources were limited and navigating his care felt overwhelming. And that experience showed me just how misunderstood liver disease, OHE, and caregiving can be.
They kept telling me I had high liver enzymes, but they said, don't worry about it. You know, we'll check it in 6 months. It's not a problem. And so that not a problem becomes a problem later on. Taking away my ability to drive.
Yes.
Taking my ability to live my life the way that I'm independent. And for me to be dependent was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life.
I was sleeping tremendous amounts of time. Then my children would come home and say, Mom's scaring me driving. And that was hard. And I was no longer reliable. I joined a support group for my other health conditions, and I'm talking about it. I'm like, hey, I did this weird thing. And someone with some experience and some knowledge enlightened me, and I went to my hepatologist.
I am actually a caregiver, and I'm the guy that's in the trenches when they're not feeling good. Your number one person you're advocating for is hurting, and they are in pain. At that same time, you cannot let them see you are hurting, and you try everything in your power to fix it. That's when you dig into the trenches and you become the advocate, and you make them your number one priority.
Hearing my daughter say that when I was in an episode and couldn't remember anything in a coma for 3 days, that I kept telling her when we were in the emergency room, tell my daughter that I'm here when she comes back. And that still breaks my heart to this day, that I would sit and tell her that, and she's right there. 21 years old having to deal with that. I decided I didn't want anyone to go through what I went through. The more that we come together as a community and help each other, no matter if it's online, if it's together, if it's in a community outreach, we have to stick together and share what we can, because our shared knowledge will be wonderful.
As a caregiver, be patient. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be angry. You're going to see the one you love turn into the most miserable person on the planet. Make sure you find the human factor. If you just think like a human, you're going to be fine, because humanity is what's going to make us better.
These aren't diagnoses we want. We don't want to watch the one we love suffer. There's just so much denial that's involved in all of that. But the tonic to that is knowledge and community, mutual support, lots and lots of love.
We all have to have our fight songs. What do you need to play to get you up when you're down and you just want to give up? You got to find it.
OHE is not just a medical condition. It is a shared experience that touches the lives, emotions, and relationships of absolutely everybody involved. Thankfully, things are continuing to change. Awareness is evolving, and for those living with OHE, there are treatment options, including Xifaxan. If you are living with OHE, if you're caregiving for someone who is, or you're supporting a loved one, I encourage you to visit the Caregiver Corner on Xifaxan.com to learn more, to find support, and most of all, to know that you're not alone. Let's continue talking about OHE. Let's ask the right questions and work together to break down the stigma so that more people can get the care and understanding they need. I thank you again for having me here today. It is an honor to be a part of this community and to share this space with you.
Indication: Xifaxan, rifaximin 550 mg tablets are indicated for the reduction in risk of overt hepatic encephalopathy, HE, recurrence in adults. Important safety information. Xifaxan is not for everyone. Do not take Xifaxan if you have a known hypersensitivity to rifaximin, any of the rifamycin antimicrobial agents, or any of the components in Xifaxan. If you take antibiotics like Xifaxan, there is a chance you could experience diarrhea caused by an overgrowth of bacteria, C. difficile. This can cause symptoms ranging in severity from mild diarrhea to life-threatening colitis. Contact your healthcare provider if your diarrhea does not improve or worsens. Talk to your healthcare provider before taking Xifaxan if you have severe hepatic liver impairment, as this may cause increased effects of the medicine. Tell your healthcare provider if you are taking drugs called P-glycoprotein and/or OATPase inhibitors such as cyclosporine, because using these drugs with Xifaxan may lead to an increase in the amount of Xifaxan absorbed by your body. In clinical studies, the most common side effects for Xifaxan were HE, peripheral edema, swelling, usually in the ankles or lower limbs, constipation, nausea, feeling sick to your stomach, fatigue, feeling tired, insomnia, trouble sleeping, ascites, a buildup of fluid in the abdomen, dizziness, urinary tract infection, anemia, low red blood cell levels, and itching. Xifaxan may affect warfarin activity when taken together. Tell your healthcare provider if you are taking warfarin because the dose of warfarin may need to be adjusted to maintain proper blood thinning effect. If you are pregnant, planning to become pregnant, or nursing, talk to your healthcare provider before taking Xifaxan because Xifaxan may cause harm to an unborn baby or nursing infant. You are encouraged to report negative side effects of prescription drugs to the FDA. Visit www.fda.gov/medwatch or call 1-800-FDA-1088. For product information, adverse event reports, and product complaint reports, please contact Salix Product Information Call Center. Phone 1-800-321-4576. Fax 1-510-595-8183.